Hello everybody and welcome, I am Bricker Boom, and today we're going to see if we could beat the game Pokemon FireRed with a single Azumarill. This is taking it all the way back to Generation 3 before it got the fairy typing, making it, useful. But the good news is, at least with this, we'll still either get Thick Fat or Huge Power, so I'm thinking this thing will be able to clear the game, I just don't know at what level. Mostly because if you look at the stats, well, aside from HP, they're kind of painfully average despite being fully evolved. Attack will be pretty good if we get huge power, but we're definitely going to be getting attacked first every single time. To look at our moves, we get your standard water and ice type moves, and oddly enough, Brick Break. We'll give the rival Bulbasaur, since as it evolves, that's definitely going to be the hardest for us to face. The beginning lab rival battle goes a lot like you think, since we're a second stage Pokemon with an attacking move that isn't directly resisted, and with that it's time to go ahead and make our way through the beginning of the game. With this beginning of the game, I have to admit, I'm kind of glad that Fairy type doesn't exist just yet. Having to face off against multiple poison types in the forest and then Koga later would probably make this a lot harder than it needs to be. But after taking down a few of the trainers, we double back to get that extra EXP off the optional rival fight. The rival starts off with Pidgey, and we open with Water Gun to take it to yellow as it uses Sand Attack, and then we can take it down. Next out is Bulbasaur, and we miss a tackle, and it tackles us. We take it to red with a crit, and then we can take it down to win the battle. Alright, let's go ahead, head to Brock, and we'll see what happens. Brock starts off with Geodude, and did you expect a lot from this fight? We handily dismantle his rock types, take his badge, and then go ahead and start on the next leg of our journey. Now, it's at this time I'd like to remind you to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Unfortunately, YouTube has changed some things around a lot, so likes are about the only way that the video can actually get out there. Comments don't really matter anymore. Hyping might help, but I'm not 100% sure on how that works. But now that fall has officially started, we're back to streaming, usually, 1 day a week on YouTube during the mornings, most weeks. We're also trying to stream 1 to 2 days on Twitch as well, plus our current weekly videos. I wish that I could get these out a little bit quicker, but that's easier said than done. In the meantime, though, grab your Dome Fossil, because that's the only one that matters, and let's go ahead and roll into Cerulean City. I don't know if we'll be able to beat Misty, but we should be able to beat the rival, I would imagine. Now, until we get a better move for the moveset, I know for sure I'm going to keep Rollout, and I think I'm actually going to keep Defense Curl. While I'm pretty sure Rollout on its own can take out opponents after it gets built up, having the ability to increase its power isn't a bad thing by any means. What we'll do is we'll try to fight Misty first, just to see if we can, and then depending on if that succeeds or fails, we can go ahead and attempt the rival fight. Sleep Powder plus Vine Whip has ended more than one attempt in the past, so honestly, it may not go like I want it to. Misty first starts with Staryu, and we accidentally open with Mega Punch from clicking too fast, taking it to yellow. It uses Water Pulse, and we miss before another Water Pulse connects, and we take it down with Rollout. Next out is Starmie, and Swift connects, and we do a little bit of damage. Next turn, the strength builds, and we take it to red as Misty heals up to full, but by now, Rollout has actually gained a really good amount of power, and we take it down in one shot, winning us a pretty simple badge and on the first try, which is kind of awesome. Now we'll go ahead and go try the rival fight. Pidgeotto's up first, and we open with Rollout, taking it to yellow as it uses Tackle before going down. Next out is Bulbasaur, and our Rollout is at stage 3, and we miss. But it also misses Poison Powder. We swap to Mega Punch, taking it to red, and then we get put to sleep, and after that, we stay snoozing and get whittled down pretty quickly. We do manage to take it down, but by the time we do, the Leech Seed damage is able to finish us off, so we just restart about the time the Abra comes out. Now on the very next attempt, Rollout takes Pidgeotto to yellow, and it hits us with a Sand Attack, then Quick Attack. As we miss, then take it down with Water Gun. Next turn, Bulbasaur goes down to a critical hit Mega Punch, which is basically what we needed to happen. Abra can't do much of anything, so it goes down. Then after that, Rattata goes down to win the battle. So from there, it's time for us to go ahead and clear out the mandatory trainers, and then we also go ahead and head to the ship as well. We honestly don't focus too much on the trainers inside, and mostly just focusing on grabbing the few items that we need. We can learn Brick Break, but I don't think it'll be too valuable for us to do so. even with huge power, I just don't think we'll be able to do enough damage. And honestly, using rollout and seeing if that works is just kind of fun. On to the rival fight on the ship. Pidgeotto's up first, and we get hit with Quick Attack before taking it to red with rollout, then knock it out. Ivysaur's next and goes down to one shot, and then Raticate does the same. Last but not least is Kadabra, and it uses Disable on rollout, and we get hit with Confusion, swapping over to Mega Punch and take it down to win a pretty easy battle. Alright, so after we give the captain a back rub and defeat the trash can puzzle, rough this time around, it's time for us to go ahead and see if we can beat the man himself. Truthfully, I could see this being a bit of an issue if Surge hits us with, any electric attack. We're not really bulky enough to be able to survive many of those, but if we outspeed and hit with rollout, we might be able to pull this off. Surge first starts off a Voltorb and it uses Shockwave as we miss our first attack. Sonic Boom connects and we take it to half, and then it uses Shockwave but we take it down. Pikachu comes out next and we take it down in one shot. Raichu starts setting up Double Team as we hit it with a boosted rollout, taking it down and winning the badge. As we start going into the next little bit of game, I gotta ask, do you enjoy these kind of strats? Having to bank on a little bit of luck on a move that we have access to is always a bit more enjoyable for me to be able to play through, but do you prefer, even if we have to level up, a playthrough with a bit more consistency? I'm just kind of curious. Now, as we get into the next town, we're going to go ahead and grab a few further upgrades. We can grab Ice Beam and replace Defense Curl since we actually haven't even needed that particular strategy, and then we'll replace Mega Punch with Return. We're already using one inaccurate move, so I'd rather not use two if I can help it. We have a few options ahead of us, and since we have Ice Beam, we might as well see if we can get through the hardest one, being Erica, out of the way. As we saw with the Bellossom run, we can come back to her anytime if we need to for whatever reason. Erica first starts off with Victory Bell, and we open with Ice Beam, taking it to a sliver and freezing it. Thankfully, it stays frozen, and despite the heal up, we can take it down before it thaws out. Next out is Tangela, and Ice Beam takes it down in one go as well. Then you have Vileplume, and we use Ice Beam, taking it to yellow as it stun spores us. Next turn, it uses Giga Drain, healing itself as we stay paralyzed. Another Giga Drain hits, and we use Ice Beam, taking it down for a victory that I was seeing slip away very quickly. Well, what we'll go ahead and do, sorry for the yawn, is that we will go ahead and fight some crime, and then fight the rival, and then after that we can go ahead and do a kind of a mid-game review of how Azumarill is doing. Onyx is up first, and we open up with Ice Beam, taking it down in one shot. Next out is Rhyhorn, and we swap over to Water Pulse, knocking it out as well. Then, finally, you have Kangaskhan, and we get hit with another Mega Punch crit for pretty solid damage. And we use Return, taking it to almost half. Bite does a little, and we use Water Pulse for decent damage. Then he uses Tail Whip for some reason, and we just knock it out. Back to the tower to see how things go, but usually at this stage of the game, the rival is kind of a pushover. But then he also gets horrifying every encounter after that. Also, for some reason, you would want to watch an uncensored, uncut version of this. The entire VOD is actually up from the very beginning of the game, at least after the Brock fight, from Tuesday's stream. There is also a random match of Dead by Daylight at the end because I had a few extra minutes, but that... Anyway, the rival first starts off with Pidgeotto, and Quick Attack does a little damage as we take it down with one Ice Beam. Ivysaur is next, and we continue with Ice Beam, taking it down with a crit that I'm not sure was needed. Gyarados comes out next, and Ice Beam takes it to red with a crit before taking it down. Next out, you have Growlithe, and we swap back to Water Pulse, taking it down with one shot. And then finally, you have Kadabra, and we swap over to Return, taking it down to win the battle. Alright, so now that we're halfway through the game, we can talk about how Azumarill is doing, and honestly, it's not bad. Obviously, things are going to be a little rough with some fights that we go into, especially in this back half of the game. But Azumarill has done a really good job keeping up with everything. Honestly, I could see myself using this in a Nuzlocke going forward. It may need huge power to make it, viable, but for the most part, I'm just relying on special attacks for this anyway, aside from rollout. As we get into that back half of the game, I think the biggest issues are going to be Koga, the Silphco rival, and then the pre-Elite Four rival fight. Everything else at this point shouldn't be too bad for us. Last thing, how many of you when watching are aware that I actually do weekly polls whenever we upload a video? It usually gets a pretty consistent amount of votes, but let me know if you like voting in the polls, if they don't really do anything for you. I'm just kind of curious. I'm Very much trying to be a little bit better at posting frequently. I'm really trying to get my name out there a little bit more, and I mean, any way that I can choose to get traction on the channel, I kind of have to take advantage of at this point. On to the Koga fight. Koga first starts with Coughing, and we've replaced Water Pulse with Surf, mostly for the raw power. Usually by this time, that move starts getting outpaced, but with Coughing, we open up with Surf, taking it down in one go. Next out is Muck, and we use Surf, taking it to not quite half as it uses Acid Armor. Another Surf takes it to yellow, and we get poisoned off Sludge, and then next turn we can take it down. His next Coughing comes out, and we use another Surf, taking it down in one shot. Then next out you have Wheezing, which we can take to half. And between Sludge and Poison, we get taken to 33 HP, but another Surf finishes it off, winning us the battle. Yeah, definitely thankful we don't have Fairy typing in this particular battle. But hey, now that we're done with that, we can go ahead and head off to Silphco. Now, given the fact that most of his team is evolved, I'm going to try to do a quick sweep of the building, just grabbing the vitamins that are available to us. If for some reason we can't win, we can try to go ahead and fight a few more of the trainers, especially if it means an easy level up. But after the vitamins and the few levels that we get from the fights to get to those vitamins, let's see how we do. Pidgeotta's up first, and we start with Ice Beam, as Wing Attack does a little damage, and we take it to red, then take it down. After that, Venusaur comes out, and Razor Leaf connects, taking us to 86 HP, as we do a little more than half. Then, Venusaur puts us to sleep and beats us into the ground. A few attempts later, we just try the good old rollout strat, as we take Pidgeot down below half, then knock it out. With this being the third rollout, after tanking a Razor Leaf, we actually get a critical hit with it and take it down. Gyarados comes out and hits us with Dragon Rage, and rollout connects to take it down, even with the Intimidation drop. Then, Growlithe is next, and the highest power rollout connects, you can tell by the animation, takes it out as well. That just leaves us with Alakazam, who thankfully uses Future Sight. In hindsight, I should have used Surf due to the Intimidation drop, but we do take it to a Sliver, and it just uses another Future Sight, so we can just take it down to win the battle. Alright, I'm happy with any attempt that doesn't require a lot of level ups, so we're going to go ahead and go fight Giovanni, and then do a battle gauntlet of the last gym battles that we're going to have to get through. Nidorino's up first and goes down to a critical hit Surf. Next out is Nidoqueen, and it uses Tail Whip as we use Surf to take it to yellow. Double Kick connects, and we take it down next turn. Kangaskhan comes out, and we use Return, taking it into the yellow, as it only uses Rage before we take it down. Then, finally, you have Rhyhorn, and that's an easy one-shot as well, getting us through the Silphco battles without nearly as much difficulty as I would have thought. Alright, time to fight Sabrina. Kadabra's up first, so we take it down with one return. Next out is Mr. Mime, and we get a critical hit on our return, taking it down in one go as well. Venomoth is next, and we swap over to Ice Beam for it, taking it to not even half as it uses Ice Beam. We then swap over to Surf next turn, and we can take it down. Then, finally, it's out to Alakazam, and we get hit hard with Psychic. And it actually lowers our special as we use Surf, taking it to yellow as the Reflect wears off. Another Psychic, due to the drop, gets even more damage, taking us to 30 HP and lowering our special again. But we are able to go ahead, take it out, and win the gym battle. Okay, it's time for us to head to Cinnabar, and for the last two gym battles, I feel pretty good about it if I'm being honest. The last two we'll have a type advantage against, but I think Blaine will probably be the only one that we have to remotely worry about, and that's just because of how fast it can be. Blaine first starts off with Growlithe, and we use Surf, taking it down in one shot. Ponyta comes out, and we outspeed and Surf it as well, taking it down. Next out you have Rapidash, and Surf takes it down with one go, and then finally it's out to Arcanine, and Fire Blast connects for decent damage as Surf takes it to what looks like 1 HP. Blaine heals up a couple times before landing another Fire Blast, and we take it down, winning us the battle. One more gym battle to go, and I gotta imagine it's gonna be easy for us. What we'll go ahead and do is fight Giovanni, and then the pre-Elite Four rival fight, and then after that, we'll go ahead and kind of do an overview of the Elite Four members, and theorycraft on which one is gonna be hardest for us. Giovanni sends out Rhyhorn, and we take it down with a single Surf. Dugtrio comes out and lands an Earthquake, but we shrug it off, and then we can take it down. Nidoqueen comes out, and it's an easy one-shot. Then it's out to the King, and we take it down too. Last but not least is Rhyhorn, and say it with me, one-shot. That's the final badge one, and now we can go ahead, fight the rival. No clue how it's gonna go, but we'll see what happens. Pidgeot's up first, and we open with Rollout. His Wing Attack connects, and we take it to yellow with a crit, then take it down. Next out is Venusaur. We get hit with Razor Leaf, and Rollout doesn't even take it to half, then we get taken down. So we do try this a few different times, and even with Ice Beam, we just can't take it down before it's able to knock us out. Technically, Razor Leaf does have a 5% chance to miss, but the luck just isn't lining up. And I think, judging by the amount of damage that we do, we might actually need 2 of them to miss, depending on what moves are actually being used. Just a couple levels later, at level 60, we start with the rollout strategy, and again, 2 rollouts take out Pidgeot. Then it's out to Venusaur, and it uses Sweet Scent for the first time ever, and we take it to half. Another Razor Leaf takes us to 114, then to 38 HP before we finish it off, only because we got a freeze and it stayed frozen. Next out is Rhyhorn, and we can take it down with a single Surf. Gyarados is up, and we use Ice Beam, taking it to not even half. Hydro Pump thankfully doesn't do much as we take it into the yellow. And then it sets up Rain Dance for some reason, so we take it down with a rain-boosted Surf. Growlithe is an easy one-shot, and Alakazam only uses Future Sight before going down to a critical hit Surf, winning us a very narrow battle that very easily could have gone south, but, you know, he just didn't attack for some reason. But now that we're on the way to the Elite Four, we can go ahead and talk about the different members. Lorelei will probably be an issue, and that's only because of the sheer number of Pokemon. Ice Pokemon are weak to Rock-type moves, so Rollout could actually get through us without too much of an issue. Then there's Bruno, and I can't imagine he's going to be too much trouble, especially since we'll be relying on special attacks, so we won't get hit with things like Revenge. Then there's Agatha, and that's always going to be kind of dicey. Double Team, Hypnosis, Nightmare, Dream Eater, that's probably going to cause more than a few issues for us. And then Lance, well, he has dragons, but we have Ice Beam, so I think we'll be alright. This is the first time in a while that I've actually written the majority of the script after playing, but I wrote this particular portion before playing the game, so the timeline between the script and the recording wasn't too far off than normal. Anyway, you then have the final rival, and he tends to use Growth, hopefully, before spinning an extra turn for the Solar Beams, so we might be able to take him down without too much of an issue, but honestly, I'm not sure. As we get into the Lorelei portion, just for the video length, we end up going down. We could typically make it to our Slowbro or Jinx, but given the amount of damage we take throughout the rest of our team, we just end up going down without too much of an option. So without too much of an option, we go ahead, get a few levels under our belt, and then we're going to go ahead and try again. As always, I'm going to continue to play the failed attempts in the background while I do this little bit, but I mean, you can see here that we don't really stand much of a chance. The next battle is basically going to go about the same, except we just focus on using Return as much as we can, rather than the rollout chance. Now, when we get to Slowbro, it does end up using Yawn on us, and we get put to sleep when the Jinx comes out. Thankfully, though, we get a quick wake up, and that lets us take it down with one Return. With Lapras, we take it to not quite half, as it hits us down to 39 HP, but we get lucky, and a much-needed critical hit takes it down to win us the battle and let us move on. Okay, that was actually a lot more annoying than I thought it would be, but hopefully Bruno won't be as difficult, but we'll see what happens there. Bruno starts with Onix, and we take it down with a single Surf without an issue. Next out is Hitmonchan, and we get hit with Sky Uppercut as we use Return, taking it to yellow. Bruno heals as we use Surf, taking it to half. We get the Quick Claw activate, and then we can take it down next turn. Hitmonlee is next, so we get hit with Brick Break, but we take it down with one shot. Machamp is the last, scary Pokemon, and we use Return, taking it to half as it uses Bulk Up and the Berry Procs. We get Scary Faced, but then we can take it down with Surf. Last up is Onix, and a single Surf takes it down to win us the battle. Way too many attempts in. I am going to go ahead and skip forward a bit, just like I did with Lorelei. Agatha is a big roadblock for us between Toxic, Double Team Gengars, and a million other things. We just can't get past it at this point. There isn't even much to cover. It's just incredibly frustrating. If you want to see me struggle and make noises that I didn't even know were possible, the stream is definitely the way to do so. At level 70, we get Confused Raid, but take the Gengar out with 2 Surfs and not smack ourselves in the face. Golbat is next and hits an Air Cutter as we Ice Beam it to yellow. Agatha heals, and we take it back to red, get hit with Air Cutter, then knock it out. Arbok comes out next and uses Screech as we take it to half. We get Screeched again, then knock it out. Her Gengar comes out, misses Hypnosis, so we can actually take it out with a critical hit Ice Beam. Finally, it's Haunter, and we get put to sleep and get our dreams aided. We do wake up, and it puts us back to sleep, but for some reason uses Mean Look, so we actually end up waking up quick, take it down, and win the battle. Will Lance be easy? Because I don't think so, given how every other member of the Elite Four has gone. Gyarados hits us with Dragon Rage as we build up rollouts and take it down. Then the next two Dragonairs are a one-shot with rollout. Dragonite goes to red, gets frozen, so even with the heal up, we take it back to red. A Hyper Beam does smack us right in the face, but we can take it down. Then with Aerodactyl, we get the Quick Claw activation, and it uses Scary Face, but the Quick Claw procs again, and we take it down, winning the battle. Far too many attempts into this. We have one more fight, and then we are finally done with this run. Pidgeot naturally uses Wing Attack, so a couple Surfs and an Ice Beam manage to do the job just fine. Venusaur uses Growth, and we take it below half with Ice Beam, and then the next turn, Quick Claw lets us knock it out. Alakazam does get us with Psychic, but it's also a one-shot, and so is Rhydon. With Gyarados, we use the Ice Beams to whittle it down, then swap over to Rollout and take it down. With Arcanine, it hits us to 12 HP with Flamethrower, as we take it into healing range with Rollout. But the rival heals, Rollout builds its power, so we actually end up taking it down after the heal up to win the battle and the run. Alright everyone, I hope that you enjoyed this particular run, especially with an evolved Pokemon that, well, isn't the best if we're being honest. I had a lot of fun with it, and as of right now, I have no idea what I'm going to be doing next week. I did put up a poll, because given the date, we're going to be into October, so I want to do a few spooky Pokemon. As of right now, it was between Haunter and Pokemon Emerald and Ariados and FireRed, and Haunter is kind of dominating the polls. Not that I'm super surprised by that. If you want to help decide the next run, make sure to join the Discord. There's still 5 more runs that we got to do, and I also do occasional polls outside of that as well. My goal is to get a good chunk of editing done this Saturday, but we'll see what happens, because things never seem to work out in my favor. I don't know why. In the meantime, though, if you liked the video, even if you didn't like the video, hit the like and subscribe button, because it really does help me out. And until next time, everybody, peace out!